Well, we start off today's show in West Africa, where the Alliance of Sahel States has announced a new 0.5% levy on imported goods, and that's as it seeks to fund the new three-state union. The levy was agreed upon on Friday and will take immediate effect. Now, all goods imported from outside the three members, which are Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso, except for humanitarian aid, will be taxed. Now, the monies will be collected. The monies that will be collected will finance alliance activities. The three nations formed the alliance back in 2023 and announced their exit from the ECOWAS regional bloc in 2024. The move highlights the rift between the three nations that border the Sahara and nations such as Nigeria and Ghana to the south. Well, a short while ago, I asked Dr. Lassana Sissoko, an economist and also an associate professor at the Sheikh Anta Diop University in Dakar, Senegal, whether the introduction of tariffs by the states was a smart move.
That levy of 5% that is called by the alliance a confederal levy, objective is to finance the activities of the alliance and the functioning of the entity. So I have to say that this is really a relatively small rate and may not translate into more inflation in the countries, which means it will not be affecting prices that much for the following reason. A similar measure, a similar instrument exists in ECOWAS, which is a 5% levy on the values of all goods and services imported from non-member countries. And that money is used actually to finance the functioning of ECOWAS. So what the alliance is doing is, since they have lost that by exiting ECOWAS, they're putting it back in the alliance. So in general, that will not be affecting much prices in those countries, and there is no much disruption from that measure for now.
Quite interesting. But how do you think neighboring countries such as Senegal and also ECOWAS nations, how do you think they'll react to this move? Could we see them retaliating with their own tariffs?
As for Senegal, I don't think Senegal will be retaliating because of the following reason also. Senegal and Mali and Niger and Burkina are all part of another entity, which is WAIU, the West African Economic Monetary Union. So in that union also, there is a that entity is also an economic and trade entity in which the countries agree to exporting and importing from each other duty-free. So Senegal and the countries of the alliance are still part of the WAIU. So having that in head, so I don't think that Senegal will be retaliating much. What people should not forget is the exit itself has a major impact on trade and on the trade relationship between those countries. The exit itself, because if you look the numbers pre-exit and post-exit, we can see that export from each other has decreased by around 27% minimum. For the alliance countries have exported 20% less than in ECOWAS countries,
right.
And ECOWAS countries also have exported 29% less in the alliance countries. So the exit itself is a major concern, because what will happen actually, I don't think that they will be increasing much the tariffs, more than what it is. As I said, this is just a displayment of a measure that exists already in ECOWAS that they brought in the alliance, in the AES. So what will be happening actually is maybe we will see an increase in the non-tariff barriers.
That leads to my next question, which is how significant this move will be in terms of disrupting regional trade and also setting back the goals of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, which was to boost intra-African trade.
The African Continental Free Trade will be a bigger entity, right? We will have more free trade at the continental level than these regional blocks. So if we have to move there, at a certain point, I think, as a trade union, all the major trade agreement that we have in the continent, like ECOWAS, like SADC, and COMESA in Central Africa. I think at a certain point we'll have to disappear if really we want to realize African free trade at the continental level. So not only the alliance, but even the ECOWAS at a certain point will not make sense much if we were to talk about free trade at the continental level.